When we talk about the origins of grunge and the cultural shift that took place in rock music during the late 1980s, there's one release that almost always comes up, and that's Mudhoney Superfuzz Bigmuff. Now, this wasn't like a multi-platinum album. It didn't top the charts or get heavy rotation on MTV, but despite that, it's widely considered one of the most important and influential records of its time, and here's why. First and foremost, Superfuzz Bigmuff helped define the grunge before grunge was even a household word. It was released in 1988, originally as an EP. The record was loud, it was dirty, and unapologetically raw. The title itself, Superfuzz Bigmuff, is a nod to two distortion pedals, the Electro Harmonix Bigmuff and the Univox Superfuzz. These weren't just effects, they were the sound of the album. That blown out, sort of fuzzy guitar tone became the cornerstone of what we now recognize as grunge. This wasn't slick or radio-friendly rock. It was like garage punk soaked in distortion and with some attitude. Mudhoney's influence went far beyond their own record sales. Bands like Nirvana looked up to them. Kurt Cobain in particular often cited Mudhoney as a major influence. You can hear it in a way Nirvana kind of blended punk energy with heavy, sludgy guitars. Mudhoney gave permission for that kind of sound to exist and to thrive. The album also played a huge role on the rise of sub-pop records. They bring this up. There's a Sub Pop Records documentary that you can check out. It's pretty rad. Okay, so Superfuzz Bigmuff was one of the Sub Pop first signature releases, helped the label define its identity. Super Pop wasn't just putting out records, they were building a scene. The combination of music, the look, the attitude helped Seattle kind of stand out as a new cultural hotspot long before the mainstream caught on. Then there's the attitude of the record. You got Mark Arm's vocals are sarcastic and sneering and sometimes hilarious. Take the track Touch Me I'm Sick. It's basically a parody of the macho rock bravado, flipping on its head with self-loathing and irony. That kind of anti-rock star energy would become a defining trait for the grunge culture. These weren't just the guys that were, trying to be like Aerosmith or Motley Crue. They were rejecting all that with a smirk and a fuzz pedal. But perhaps the most lasting impact of Superfuzz Bigmuff is its authenticity. It sounds like the band's playing in a garage, because essentially that's what it was. No gloss, no polish, just raw power and honesty. And that resonated deep with a generation that was growing tired of overproduced, super stylized rock that was of the 80s. So while Superfuzz Bigmuff might not have gone platinum, it laid the foundation for an entire grunge movement. It showed the music didn't have to be perfect or to be powerful. It just had to be real. That's what made this album so important. So if you haven't checked this album out, check it out. Let me know what you think. I love it. You'll love it. Check it out.